Can you ever trust a weak man? Before you answer that question, take a moment. Not just to hear it, but to feel it. What is weakness? Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? A weak man, someone who lacks strength, conviction, will. A man who bends when the winds of life become harsh. A man who cannot stand firm in his values, who is swayed by every fleeting temptation or fear. Now the world might teach you to show compassion, to be lenient, to overlook weakness. But let me ask you, in a moment of crisis, could you truly trust him? When life tests you, and believe me, life will test you, the people around you matter more than ever. Trust, it's not something given easily, not if you understand what's at stake. When you trust someone, you're handing them your vulnerability, your secrets, your heart, your future. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. A weak man cannot carry the weight of your trust. He can barely carry his own. Because you see, weakness doesn't just fail you when the going gets tough. Weakness is contagious. The weak man breeds doubt, insecurity, and fear. He reflects your own shadows, amplifies your darkest thoughts, and soon, you begin to question yourself. You begin to wonder if your strength is enough. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, the winds howling, danger at your heels. Would you trust the man beside you if you knew he wasn't sure-footed, if he doubted himself? Would you place your life, your dreams, in his hands? I didn't think so. But this is not about cruelty or judgment. It's not about writing off the weak. This is about understanding the profound importance of strength. Trust is built on strength, the strength that comes from self-discipline, from a soul that knows itself, from a mind that's been tested and hasn't broken. A weak man is one who has never faced himself, who hides from discomfort, who evades the truth about his own limitations. He is not tested, and thus he cannot be trusted. You may think trust is about intentions, about wanting the best for you. But no, intentions without strength are empty promises. A weak man may want to be trustworthy, but when the time comes to stand up for you, to be unwavering, he falters, he collapses. True strength is quiet. It doesn't need to boast. It doesn't waver in the face of hardship. Strength is consistency. Strength is being who you say you are, even when no one's watching. Ask yourself, can you trust a man who doesn't know his own strength? Who is afraid to test himself? Because a weak man hasn't learned the cost of failure. He hasn't been forged by adversity. He hasn't bled for his values. And if a man hasn't fought for himself, what makes you think he'll fight for you? Perhaps the hardest truth is this: weakness is a choice. It's the choice not to confront your inner demons. It's the choice to let fear rule over action. It's the choice to avoid responsibility, to avoid growth. A weak man remains a child in the face of life, and trust cannot be built on such a fragile foundation. But strength is the outcome of facing those very same demons, of walking through fire and coming out the other side, scarred but unbroken. Strength is earned through effort, through pain, through persistence. So can you ever trust a weak man? The answer is no. Not because he doesn't deserve it, but because he hasn't earned it. Strength and trust are built hand in hand. Surround yourself with those who are tested, those who have faced their own darkness and survived it. Because when your world crumbles and you're searching for someone to stand with you, you don't want someone who will crumble too. Trust is earned by strength, and strength begins from within. So the next question is, are you weak? Can you be trusted? These questions, they are not meant to accuse you. They are meant to awaken you. Because the truth is, many of us go through life without ever confronting our own weakness. We distract ourselves with comfort, with convenience, with the lie that strength will somehow come tomorrow. But today, I ask you to stop and look inward. Look deeply. Are you the man you can trust? And if not, What are you doing about it? Strength, real strength, is not given, and it's not inherited. It's earned, day by day, decision by decision, by how you face the world and how you face yourself. You cannot rely on the world to make you strong, because the world, it's indifferent. It will test you, but it will not wait for you. Strength begins when you choose to stop avoiding discomfort, when you choose to face the parts of yourself that are weak, that are fragile. Ask yourself, where in my life have I allowed myself to be soft? Where have I avoided confrontation, not just with others, but with my own soul? Being strong is not about lifting weights or showing off physical prowess. It's about the strength of your spirit, the discipline of your mind. It's about knowing who you are, even when the noise of the world tries to drown you out. It's about standing firm in your values, no matter how much pressure is applied. So why be strong? Why go through the pain, the sacrifice? Why not just accept weakness and live quietly in its shadow? Because there is no peace in weakness, not true peace. A weak man is forever at war with himself, forever doubting, forever bending under the will of others. Weakness invites chaos, insecurity, and fear. It invites manipulation from those stronger than you, because they will see your weakness, and they will use it. But strength? Strength gives you the power to stand on your own 2 feet, to face life without flinching, to meet the world on your terms. Think of the great men in history, the ones we admire, the ones we remember. What set them apart? It wasn't wealth, or fame, or power. It was their unshakable inner strength. They were not afraid to confront the harsh truths of life, nor the harsh truths of themselves. You cannot trust someone who hasn't faced their own darkness. You cannot trust someone who hasn't struggled, who hasn't fought for their own soul. And more than anyone else, you cannot trust yourself until you've done the same. So, are you weak, or are you on the path to becoming strong? Strength is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. It's not the absence of pain, but the endurance of it. Strength is choosing growth, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And you must grow, because life will not remain still. It will either forge you or break you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be invincible. But you do have to be willing. Willing to look at your own weaknesses, to confront them, and to change. Every moment you hesitate is a moment you allow weakness to grow. Every time you avoid the hard conversation, the difficult decision, the honest reflection, you give weakness control over your life. But here's the good news. Strength is always available to you. It doesn't matter where you start. It only matters that you begin. Every small act of discipline, every small decision to push through discomfort builds a foundation of strength, and that strength becomes trust. The man who is strong is the man who knows his limits and then breaks through them. The man who is strong is the man who has fallen but learned to rise again. The man who is strong is the man who can stand alone in the darkness, unafraid of what he might find. Are you weak? That's not a question to fear. It's a question to reflect on. Because weakness is not a curse, it's an opportunity. It shows you where you need to grow. It reveals the path to becoming the man you can trust. And if you are willing, if you are disciplined, you will find the strength within yourself. So, will you choose weakness, or will you choose strength? That's the real question. And the answer will define the rest of your life.